Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this Grandest Lan 2022, live from the castle in Poland, whose name I've already forgotten.
Mojna.
Thank you.
Oh.
It's gone.
So we are here, over 100 players. Each team of 3 is going to be doing diplomacy and things like that in person in these different rooms that we have set up all throughout the castle. It's amazing.
This time, there is a Caesar who has united much of Europe, and several of his dynasty have taken the thrones of various countries around, and a lot of the player wars and things like that will be subject to his acceptance or rejection. So there we go. Now you can see the list of players.
You're supposed to be impartial.
I am completely... Oh, blue flames! Blue flames! See, it's happening already. Okay, so we've got Perm and Sukov. Really? Oh, because Muscovy. And we take a look at the Sukovian War of Independence. There we go. Is Sukov actually supported by anyone? Nope. This might be a GG for Sukov. Meanwhile, other wars at the moment. So we've got the Knights entering into an early one. Is this against the Ottomans by any? Yes, it is. And the Knights are beating the Ottomans. I told you it was possible at the start. The Knights thrashing the Ottoman fleet here. Absolutely brilliant. 14.
We're so excited over here. We're throwing chairs.
Yep, chairs are being thrown in our excitement. Mitch just can't contain himself right now. Did Slemson know CB? Slemson did know CB. They're currently on -1 stability. That's an interesting choice too. I guess they just really didn't want to wait for the claim or something.
No CB is the best CB.
So you say. Meanwhile, Sukov still alive.
They're sending them now.
Yep. Let's. Oh, I think they just gave up. They realized that they were doomed. Yep.
Yeah, that's a tough war to go into. No allies.
Yeah.
Right off the start.
32k against 3. Good luck.
We're seeing a bunch of expansion right now, a lot of independence wars. It's looking like most of these are off to a good start.
Brittany is fully occupied by France.
That is not a good...
Brittany allied to Scotland. No, it's allied to the Isles. So the Isles are going off to Scotland and kind of just sacrificing Brittany on the altar of Scotland.
Brittany just pieced out.
They did. I'm guessing that's because they were secondary in that war. Are we able to see if they
lost? It looks like the Isles are doing okay. Almost have Scotland fully occupied, so probably getting independence.
So the Isles are allied to Denmark. Denmark at this point, of course, in charge of the Kalmar Union. So the Brits or the English probably feeling a bit bad about things at the moment. What's Desmond
They
up
are
to?
fully blockading Holland at the moment, which must hurt a little bit of their trade, but they seem to be not joining.
Why is Holland in that? Oh, they're independent. And they're allied to France. That is another interesting alliance. I mean, people are definitely using France as the hammer with which to smash other people. So Provence and Holland both getting in with the big blue blob.
Byzantium is now fighting the Ottomans, so curious to see how that is going.
And they are fighting against Byzantium, Athens, and the Knights. That's because they trapped them. So somebody in chat was saying that they're trying to get the Byzantine army trapped on Nasos, and they have actually managed to do that.
They've been stack wiped.
Wait, Byzantium? By whom? Oh, Crimea.
Yeah.
Whoops.
Whoops.
And the Knights are there next door. 8k against 3. This is not going to make the Knights very happy. Wow, they are getting obliterated. Crimea. Crimea.
Crimea River. But autos are trapped.
2 stack wipes.
So at least they've got that under control.
Yeah, and there's 6k Ramazans sitting on Constantinople right now. There was also 14k, what were they? They were Tunis. Troops roaming around. So I don't think that this is ultimately going to go in their favor.
Clemson in 3 wars right now.
Ooh, brave. Yeah, fighting against Tugara, Fazan, and Mazab. So they're being very aggressive early on. Still got 6.8 thousand manpower.
Yeah, I seem to have it under control here.
There is a lot of consolidation already going in North Germany. Lübeck, Hamburg.
Pomerania has formed.
Pomerania has indeed formed. I was just about to say that. That's Stettin. No, that's not Stettin. That's Pomerania.
Yep. Granada is going in on Portugal.
Against Portugal, England, and Castile. That is another big fight. That's a lot of majors. Wait, it's because they're fighting against Aragon at the same time. And they are about to lose their fleet to Portugal. Don't screw with Portugal early in the game. They have that chance to escape fleet battles It's really hard to kill Portugal at sea. Byzantium is dead. F's in chat, chat.
F's in chat.
Byzantium is the first casualty. It has happened. They dead.
They died.
So the Purple Phoenix has gone out.
Serbia has gone in on Ragusa. Seems to be taking advantage of the Ottomans' preoccupation with all of their other wars. They're expanding.
You know what? Serbia's actually expanded very, very quietly and very significantly. They've really grown.
Oh, Opol is going for their independence. Good for them.
Ooh.
They've got Cilli. They've got Hungary.
Opol, Cilli, Croatia, Hungary against Bohemia, Brunswick, Glogor, Saxony, and the Teutons.
The Rootin' Tootin' Cowboys. Better hope they don't show up.
Actually, I mean, with Hungary on their side, that's a lot of buddies that they can feed into the meat grinder.
Teutons are currently also fighting the Livonian Order. Oh, Livonian subjugation of the Teutons.
Oof.
The Isles got their independence. They've got a tiny little baby Scotland in the middle.
Yep, there's a tiny little bit of Perth, which is kind of Australia-shaped, I guess. It's also yellow. It's hot.
Scotland is currently fighting Denmark. Love to see them expand.
Yeah. But it's Gotland and Dithmarschen against Kalmar. I'm trying to think how I would fight that war if I were them. The answer is I probably wouldn't.
In Dithmarschen, do you see where they've expanded? They've actually come in.
Oh, they've moved south here.
Yeah.
Interesting, into Munster.
Yep.
Huh. Sneaky.
Sneaky.
Okay, we have a joiner. Who is the joiner going to be?
This must be the Biz switcheroo. Is that a Georgia?
That is a Georgia. Sweet Georgia. Georgia's a pretty... Oh, no, they're not that big. For some reason, I thought they were bigger at the start of the game.
So this is our farthest nation, right? Away from...
No, we have Perm as well.
Oh, right, Perm as well.
So they're roughly as far east.
Granada is making an excellent comeback. Very nice.
Oh, heck yeah, Granada.
Yeah.
I think that they can kind of thank the Aragonese for bailing them out there, because Aragon
so
started
as well.
a huge invasion, and Castile's just like, ah!
They are currently sieging down. That's going to go well for them.
They still haven't gone after Dithmarschen. Sweden is looking quite happy just blockading Gotland at the moment. Oh, they just tried again. 24 Gotlandic ships going against the 11 Swedes. The Danes, however, are on their way. 12 galleys against 3 that Sweden has, but the Danes have now arrived. They still only have 5 galleys, so Gotland does have the bigger punching power at the moment. And if they can keep up the ship casualties against the Swedes and the Danes, then they'll lose. Oh, here comes Norway. Oh. Here comes Norway. Da, da, na, 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 na. Enjoy the heavies. 4 heavies. Kapow. And from my reckoning, usually it is 4 galleys for 1 heavy. So those 4 heavies are basically counting as 16 galleys at the moment, which, if my math is correct, 16 is higher than 12. Yeah, it's thanks to Norway. Norway just won that fight for them. Oh, wait, no, they lost.
Oh, yeah, they lost. Yeah, no, the morale and everything.
Yep.
Yep.
Because they were sinking so many of the light ships and the transports.
Okay, we actually have a video that we are going to show you of some players signing a pact.
We are here today to sign a pact, to form the League of Shitty Nations. We are those that are downtrodden, poor, and unrespected. We bond together today to be strong. The Isles, baby.
Everyone's favorite peasant republic, Dithmarschen.
Opol. We're the small nation of Cilli.
The nation that tried to beat the Muscovites.
The dark city of Frankfurt.
The humble nation of Bern.
With this signing, we will stand together against all that would crush us. To the League of Shitty Nations!
The League! Take the staff. Fear its power.
The only league that has dark wizards in it. So you should fear us.
Morally grey wizards.
Oh, my bad.
We do charity work too.
Forever glorious. Forever the League be.
Forever shitty. Forever shitty! Our League of Shitty Nations!
Yeah, so Castile not looking good. Aragon, whoa!
Yeah, has expanded.
Whoa. Okay, who's our ally to Aragon? Because they are now a good ally.
Savoy.
They're not player.
Ooh.
And Naples is still junior. But now I'm guessing that some other players will be angling like, hey, Aragon, how you doing? Castile also pieced out, and there we go. Granada took a significant chunk. Actually, Aragon, are you going to be having coalition issues with this? 49. Knights, are you still at war? No! 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 What happened?
Uh-oh.
Switzerland got formed. Switzerland did get formed. You're right. By the 3 leagues. So that is now Bavaria, Switzerland, and Pomerania. Also, Blue Flames. Yes, we do have Blue Flames. I did not want to hesitate from that too much. So we've got Ferrara against the Papal State.
Oof. Oh, Sosa's finally declared independence.
Aha!
So they may be the first of the 4 remaining vassals.
Surprise! I don't think that surprises anybody. Speaking of Granada, Granada has chomped halfway up Portugal. And I suspect that a lot of countries are going to be rather miffed. Yeah. Ooh, France!
Whoa.
Uh-oh. Aragon and France both rather ticked off with Granada right now.
Have you gone over what happened with the Gotland-Denmark war? Because they have severely injured Denmark there. That looks nice.
That was incredibly generous for Gotland. Dithmarschen gains Holstein and Schleswig, but Gotland gains Sjælland, Fyn, and Lolland. Sjælland, of course, the former capital of Denmark. But Genoa sitting on a 28% chance of taking Ferrara. This might be the 3rd player casualty.
Could very well be.
There goes Ferrara.
Sus is losing their independence war right now at a -99.
Good grief.
Maybe they will not be the first of the remaining vassals to regain independence.
While Tlemcen is gobbling up Morocco. I mean, I guess as long as they don't accept a 100% peace, that 1% may save them. Hot join.
All right, I wonder if this...
2 new players.
Yep.
So we have got Shirvan from Lan A7 and Akanulu.
Oh!
Is that the Knights? Are they going to try to become the Ottomans?
We didn't beat the Ottomans the first time, so we're coming back for the second.
So this was the Knights, and
Georgia's
also dead.
Yeah.
So I think this is Byzantium Mark III.
Yeah.
Ferrara died.
Oh, Ferrara's gone. Yep.
F's in chat.
F
for Ferrara.
The war for independence against Muscovy.
Player war. Blue flags. Oh, it's Muscovy.
Yeah,
probably.
everyone's helping. It's nice to see the players band together, you know, help out the vassals like that.
Yeah, Brunswick being fought there. But they do have enough troops coming in to relieve the pressure. Though Muscovy moving up to Colm with another 15k. Muscovy is actually down to medium enthusiasm. We know that Muscovy was low on manpower. They're down to 8k. They are losing money. They don't have any debt, though.
AQ has expanded quite a bit.
Yeah, AQ was going into Dulkadir, which was their neighbor. So they're just trying to consolidate the eastern stuff. I do kind of wonder if Shirvan and AQ are going to try to split QQ between them.
That's what it is, looking like.
Austria is indeed AI. Yeah, all of the great powers are. In fact, just because I'm interested, what is the great power list at the moment? Though Poland, number 3. That is going to be a problem for Mazovia.
Who only has 1 year left.
Yeah, I think it might be GG for Mazovia.
Oh, the Pope is subjugating Naples.
The Pope is indeed subjugating Naples. Naples having gotten independence from Aragon. They were probably watching that one like a hawk.
Let's see. Mazovia is currently being supported by 3 players.
Oh, last second. Moldavia, Pomerania, and Lübeck. It's the North Germans again.
Mm-hmm.
They are clearly playing a very, very strong diplomatic game, just putting out feelers and, you know, propping up a few regimes here and there to see what sticks and see what supports them in the future.
It's a numbers game. You got to always play both sides, so you always come out on top.
Hello everybody and welcome back. I am Count Cristo and this is Ryan Riagi and we are your late night show hosts.
Late night show.
Absolutely. So, our Byzantium player, the Phoenix, which has burned twice, now does appear to be rising from the ashes and they've released and got Georgia back under them, which
I'm
love
sure they
to
want
see.
some revenge on those Ottomans. They have to.
You have to imagine they do. Of course, right now, they are Sunni themselves, so we'll see which way that goes. Looking north a little bit more, Moldova. Moldova has been doing well. They had a very slow start. They were bumbling along, they were doing some development, they were doing some tech, you know. It's good stuff. But now they've taken this huge chunk. They essentially totally annexed Crimea all in one go. It was beautiful.
Yes, as someone in chat points out, there's a war currently between the Isles
thank
and
you.
England.
Ooh, and it does not look like it has started amazingly for the Isles.
No.
This is...
France is involved, however.
It's a French war, in fact.
The Isles are actually just kind of waiting for France to step in and help.
Which
Oh,
side?
it looks like the battle is happening
They're pushing
right now
into
in Perth.
No, Perth is hills. That means we're taking
Oh,
the penalty
no.
on the Isles side. You know that there are diplomats running from room to room, shouting at Desmond, Desmond! But, I mean, if you're Desmond in this situation, one of your enemies is killing one of your other enemies. You might be allied to one of your enemies, but...
Yeah, this is not looking good.
This is not
for the
looking
Isles.
good. I mean, this is really interesting. This is our third big AI nation that's making moves. That's meaning it so that the players can't just scheme and politics. Sometimes they have to just be able to present the clenched iron fist that is the only thing the AI respects in this game. Okay. Chat is wanting us to look at a poll, and that, of course, is fair enough because we, right now, that is to say, Ryan, I, and all the players, have the privilege of being just about there.
Oh, you know the exact pixel.
I think we are actually in the O of a poll right now.
We are in the O. You heard it here first.
I believe that's the case. So let's take a look back here at the Isles. I mean, they are getting roasted and toasted. It looks like Desmond has still not come in. There's another declaration. Mazovia is getting its independence right now. Let's take a look here. Yep, Mazovia. Oh, look at that. They have mustered in a huge alliance to go against Poland, but I must yield the floor momentarily.
We have a
Kaiser
very
is here.
important guest. This
Welcome.
is the Kaiser.
Welcome.
I'm Kaiser Karl Wilhelm Charlemagne II, and it's very nice to see you all and greet all my citizens around the world.
And what a beautiful crown it is. I really want to touch one of those jewels.
Yes, please
I mean,
do.
Let me just, oh yeah.
That's good. Talk to me a little bit about what happened in Italy, because I think Ferrara brought a case before you claiming that the Pope, I mean, the emissary of God no less, was in fact an oathbreaker. How did you solve that one?
Oh yes, the judge got this to solve because, well, it was a hard case to solve. They had an agreement how they will split Italy, and then one of these sides decided to break this agreement and attack the ally of the other one, and the thing got very messy. And the best way to solve it was to create more conflict and more problems between them, giving it to the most corrupt judge we have to solve, so they will have some more reason to fight in the future. Yeah, and this is how we solve it, to create more drama and more stories.
Chat loves drama. I know that much.
It's very true.
Oh, there's a huge fight going on between the Isles and England. This is a fight that could swing the tide and allow them to reoccupy their
They have,
land.
in fact, been turning the tide rather well. It looks like England has some men trapped over here.
Turning the tide is very expensive.
It's very true. The Isles right now are looking at 369 ducats of loans, which is, I mean, it's substantial. It's substantial. Right now, Frankfurt winning pretty heavily. And let's take a moment to look at this beautiful city that they're building. 34 development in 1469. That is pretty impressive. Surely the emperor must be looking pretty favorably on such diligent industriousness.
Surely you don't see them as rivals to the grand imperial city, right? I mean,
No, the players from Frankfurt have created a beautiful storyline about the city, that they are the dark city of knightly beings, immortal, eternal, and eternally devoted to the emperor, under the condition that they are not allowed to grow bigger than only this one province. So
Who else have we got who's doing well in the I mean, the Isles, I mean, this is one of those Phoenix stories. We were talking earlier about in order to rise from the ashes, you need ash. The Isles right here, not content to be cinder. They are fighting back hard against the English here. The English, of course, have been spreading their troops around the place. And look at that. Holland coming in the clutch with these heavy ships. I mean, of course, Holland, if you're not aware, chat, Holland being played by, at least partly played, by a team including the renowned Zlowick, who is one of the best things he's known of is repairing your disaster campaigns. I mean, this was looking like a bit of a disaster for the Isles, and I don't know. It looks like the builder Zlowick is coming in here to save the day.
yeah, loans aren't too big of a problem. They can pay those off, perhaps even with some emperor's favor. Not to influence that in any way, of course.
It's true. It's true.
But if only citizens of the realm will be willing to help each of the sides, we can.
Oh my God! There we go. Desmond. They saw that the tide had turned. I apologize because I interrupted you. I interrupted. But Desmond finally in. And if I'm the Isles, I have to be saying, come on, Desmond, that was a little late. They are in now, and they're charging in. They've taken the Pale, but they have, and they're taking the Seas. Now they're confident that that's the same. But that is a very late entrance from Desmond.
Yeah,
and
England.
the Holland has landed in London. Of course, a mightily important trading province for the British Isles node, and France landing another army in the south. That looks like it's curtains for England. Can we see the rest of the world? Yes. Milan, interestingly, subjugated by the Papal State, I think. No? Who are you a subject of? Of Cilli? What the heck? Okay,
Cilli.
well, that is a serious potential conflict point because, of course, Milan, all those cores. Something that we can look a little bit further afield, if I take a look here in Observer, we will note that some players have been mightily evicted. I believe this is Sus and this is Brittany.
That is very sus.
In terms of these two. But Sus has been, evicted. Yeah, hilarious. They've been evicted down here. Get out of my head, etc., etc. And they've been evicted down here. But Wollsongali, a really nice place to bounce back from for Brittany. They've got some really nice trade production in the area. Of course, Ethiopia, yet another mighty thing down here. Who is Hansa? That's a great question. I did know the answer to that. It's Ferrara. Ferrara is down here now in Hansa. Not managing to make too many plays just yet. I spoke far too soon. They are stomping all over Hormuz. Okay, so, my dear Kaiser.
The time you spent with us, it's much appreciated. Pleasure.
Thank you, Kaiser. So, let's take a look at this Polish war, because this is going down at the moment. Mazovia is making their push. Look at this! Okay, a Pole, not content to stick with their original name, has now formed Silesia. That gives them a new mission tree, I think. If I'm not mistaken. I'm mistaken, never mind. But they are advancing quite nicely here. Probably having eyes, you have to imagine, on these lovely mines down here in Hungary, seeing what they can do to get here. Granada is doing things. Look at this. Speaking of phoenixes rising from the ashes, Granada is doing what they can do.
Granada is a famously hard start.
Absolutely,
so
absolutely.
Big props to them.
Absolutely. With the aid of Tlemcen, they're certainly doing better. Sus is back on the map, by the way. Not player control, but very much back on the map, which we love to see.
England.
Speaking of one to watch, Desmond's chance to redeem themselves, and they are going for it. We have seen 3 provinces go to Scotland. No doubt, Scotland intends to release Wales. This is, in fact, the correct province to take if you wish to release Wales down here. It both gives you access to fabricating lots of claims down here, as well as releasing Wales to the north. But now we'll see what's Desmond going to do.
Probably
I didn't even
very
notice.
heated negotiations.
Oh, speaking of Scotland, they're Scotland. The Isles is no more.
Yeah,
I didn't notice that.
F in chat for the Isles.
I mean, it's still
reborn
the Isles.
Yes.
Yes. It's the Hebrides in our heart. No F for the Isles. Only glory as they ascend.
Are you anti-Isles?
No, I'm very much pro-Isles. I happen to have a dear love for the Hebrides. I will tell you, so.
You can get away with that.
But yeah, there is a very beautiful cave just here, and there is a whirlpool that forms between these 2 islands, believe it or not. It's one of the largest in the world. It's quite dramatic. Yeah.
I would love to see that in person.
No, you wouldn't. So, Count has returned, and we have some mighty peace deals to run down. During that talk, the Great Partition begun.
Ryzan is going for map painting strategy.
They really are. They've gone wide. They've got a lot of woods.
You have to respect that. The bigger your name is, the better you're doing.
I mean, that is the rule. If we take a look over here in the west, Holland has taken a mighty chunk out of England. Look at that. This is going to have a big impact on the trade. 60.
Oh my
Lord, that is the word for it.
That is the trade node that Holland wants to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. Stonks for Holland. We have 60% control. Of course, Desmond, not to be left out, did in the end do rather nicely for themselves. That's a hefty chunk of England they took. Taking a look here, I am delighted to announce the formation of a new... What have they done with my player map mode? There it is. The formation of a new alliance in northern Germany. The Golden Alliance.
Is that what it's called?
The Golden Alliance.
Have you made that up, or is that what it's
No,
called?
I've not made that up. That is
Okay.
the name.
The Golden Alliance.
Now, the Golden Alliance has more members in it than you might expect. We were talking earlier about the precarious position that Hesse finds themselves in, but no longer, because they are formally a member of the Golden Alliance. We have Holland, Hesse, Hamburg, Lübeck, Pomerania, unified together into the Golden Alliance. Oh, and there we go.
There it
Things
is.
have kicked off.
Yes,
Our players'
and
control.
It looks like Austria is still sending troops in.
Oh,
That battle.
That was a very decisive defeat.
It was. Serbia may not even need Austria to help as much as...
Worth noting on the idea front, no military ideas for the Ottomans and quality for Wallachia, equal Tech 6 across the board. We are looking at a pretty hefty fight here in Constantinople, as was, but the Wallachians coming in here on the reinforced looks like it's going to send them packing. We have a morale advantage. We have a significant discipline advantage. Even with their insufficient support modifier, it looks like they're doing rather nicely. And that shock resistance on the general definitely helping out. The Ottomans looking like it's a little bleak for them.
It's like AQ is attacking to their east, expanding eastward.
They are indeed. Look at
the
that.
Phoenix is indeed rising.
Shivran doing fantastic work and cleaving their way through the remains of Karakunlu. And also, something I missed last time, I do apologize, chat, it was pointed out to me by the former Knights players now in Shivran. Check out these vassals. Look at these cores. There's not very many of them, but this is some relatively nice development. And then Mazoran, very nice development down here. And of course, some things to take off Ajam. Now let's take a look over in Europe. Chat kindly pointing out Granada, just doing their thing, crushing Castile. Oh my God, look how few Castile forts there are. There's literally none in the whole country. Castile is a broken country right now. I mean, they got one capital fort in the north, and that is it. Ooh, Dithmarschen actually taking a couple of hits against Denmark. They were doing well, now driven back. Looks like Gotland pieced out, and that may have turned the tide on them a little bit.
And it looks like AI Denmark is at war with AI Sweden, as well as they do.
As they do, it looks like this is the Swedish bid for independence, I wouldn't wonder. Yes, indeed it is, and the first one of them. So we're likely to see the Lion in the North rising.
Indeed. I think the Lion in the North here might be Gotland. They could seize this opportunity and really become a powerhouse in the region.
It's true. They do have a truce, of course, because Gotland was very recently at war with Sweden, but we will see. They are taking a couple of mainland provinces. They are, of course, a pirate republic, so we've been seeing Gotland accruing nice amounts of wealth, not through regular income, but through raiding it. Livonian blue frames, let's take a look here. Scotland. Why is Scotland in here? Scotland supported Sweden's independence. Probably to make their future potential conquest of Norway easier. I have to imagine. Oh, I just noticed Scotland got Iceland. Nice. Oh. Good work, Scotland. From the Isles, now Scotland here to talk to us today. So
you almost knocked.
Here he is.
Oh, you're Ireland. You're Desmond? Okay, so this is Desmond.
Not the Isles, excuse me.
Not the Isles.
Misinformed. And I notice that Scotland gave you Glenmorgan in the south.
We have an agreement of splitting England in half.
Okay.
The west half of England is technically Scottish. The east half is Irish.
Okay.
Okay.
And then there's the Dutch that somehow got in, and we don't like them.
You don't like the Dutch?
Nobody likes the Dutch.
Nobody likes the Dutch.
Does Scotland also not like the Dutch?
They don't like the Dutch either.
Now that is very, very interesting. So you and the Scottish are going to work together to drive the Dutch back out here.
As soon as we have stabilized our economy. Also, there's Gotland, the wild horse, who wants London, I know.
Oh, do they?
Absolutely.
Interesting.
They were asking us before about London.
Okay. Gotland, again, not in the Golden League, so that could definitely do it. Pskov, Scotland, yes, sorry, just to turn away from you for one moment. Pskov has declared another war on Sweden, which has got Scotland called in. I have to imagine Scotland is staying home for that one.
Yeah, so, Livonian Order taking a lot of land from Sweden right now.
Absolutely. Talk to me about the depth of your feelings towards Scotland. Is this a forever alliance? I believe I heard tell of 80 years.
Yes, we set the time limit on 1550, and then we reevaluate. And depending on how much time there's left in this event, we might want a big war in Europe, or we will have infighting on the Isles.
I see. Well, Desmond, it's been a great pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. Any parting
words,
ambitions for the chat?
Watch out for the Ivory Coast.
Ivory Coast.
Interesting.
Because have you seen the flag of Ireland? It's the Ivory Coast flag, just the other way around.
Okay.
So we have clearly a claim on that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing if you can do that.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks very much.
It's
our
been
pleasure.
lovely. Thank you for being here.
See you.
Clap, clap, clap.
And if we turn...
Yes, sir.
It doesn't stop. If we turn our attention to the Balkans, you will notice that the Ottomans have been, well, Balkanized. We see them carved asunder. Wallachia taking, 4 provinces there, 5 provinces, and Serbia likewise taking a nice 4 provinces there, including Carigrad. It has now been renamed. Only appropriate. Rather, the Ottoman, the Orthodox are back in, no Ottoman this campaign, sadly, but the Orthodox are back in Constantinople. The Patriarchate has been restored. Oh yes, they also did take their core. Thank you for reminding me, chat.
We can quickly have a look at the Livonian borders.
Look at that.
Yes.
Livonia, we heard some rumblings earlier. Golden Order not so happy about the Teutons being under Livonian hands, but that is a mighty, mighty power grab by the Livonians. They're taking a huge heft of land in the north. So this is another...
also took some of Denmark. So this is actually turning into another flashpoint potentially.
It is. Let's talk a little bit about the winners and losers.
Absolutely.
So the big winners, I think, indisputably, are, especially at the late game here, Holland. That yoinking on the British Isles, they have grown magnificently. They have taken a huge chunk there, and they've done really well. Chat, I want to see your suggestions. Oh, blue flame, blue flame.
Is there blue? There is blue flame.
Looks like another nothing war. It's not a nothing
right
war.
At the end.
Whoa.
Oh my goodness. Right at the end.
Versus Pskov. Let's take a look at the numbers on this one. We've got 33,000 infantry, 9,000 on the Ryazan, Tver, Astrakhan side. And then on the other side, we have 3 players, Perm, Pskov, and Wallachia, all coming in with substantially
That
more
war
troops.
is massive in terms of land area. Yeah, if you want to look at the diplomatic map mode here, it looks like this is going to be basically the entirety of Western Russia at war.
Ryazan pushing up in a hurry. Eager to take these fights. This is a fairly decisive one. They are a horde, I believe, at the moment. They're a Russian principality, so they're not needing to take fights in the plain specifically. But look at
that battle.
This.
Look at that.
The morale advantage is telling. Rolls consistently going in Ryazan's favor. It looks like
that's a huge victory for Ryazan.
Yeah, just not being able to consolidate those troops fast enough. Casualties, though, pretty even. Not a big win. Not a big win. And they need to get that war goal. What is the war goal here? It's a Ryazan offensive, yes.
Did I just see Wallachia has joined that war? I believe, yes. They are...
Yeah, Wallachia have been in for a minute, but we've actually seen Silesia join, which is going to get pretty close. We've got another victory coming in here for Ryazan. Ryazan, historically, a nation that's not done very well in these grand campaigns, so it's interesting. How is Silesia benefiting from this, asks chat. A great question. Future defense, honor, of course, always a concern, but
they prove themselves battle-worthy, I would say.
They certainly have. They certainly have. There's another fight going on here. The difficulty that Perm and Pskov are having here, they're just being defeated in detail. It's the classic way to lose a war. If you fight your enemy with half your troops one at a time and they can concentrate force, you get smacked down. Ryazan, though, looking a little bit low on the manpower. We've got 10,000 with 25,000 in the field. Pskov, on the other hand,
I don't know how long Ryazan can keep this going for.
It's a very reasonable question. With this many people coming at them, they're going to be looking to have to knock some of these pieces out pretty quickly. It's been a delight.
It's been lovely.
It's been really lovely. What I want to know is who's talking to Moldova, because they could go either way, right? They're not allied to either side in this conflict, and if they back either, it becomes a hard victory. Now, the problem is, if Moldova backs Ryazan, they immediately put Wallachia on the front line. Could be very, very tricky.
Could get spicy.
But we need to go to bed. Thanks so much for your kind words. Praise the Dark Tower of Frankfurt indeed, and we will see you all next time.
Yeah, see you next time. Thank you.